They planned to stuff Mom into the mansion too, but the maid was secretly clever and had served both homeowners. She was enjoying double the meals every day. Subtitles: she was truly adept at being thrifty and managing the household, which was originally an extremely tough challenge. But Sayoshu, a student, turned into a blundering fool when he learned that the aunt was allergic to peaches. Sayoma bought a peach, and her brother took a blade to collect the fuzz from its skin. Then after school the next day, he sprinkled it in the aunt's hair, and she was clueless about the plot against her. The aunt came to the hospital for a checkup, and Dad made an awkward appearance in the waiting area, gently clicking the camera shutter, framing the aunt for tuberculosis. Expressing concern for the kids at home, the clueless wife bought the act, suddenly panicking, while Sayoma received a text. Her dad didn't want her to find out, Grandpa didn't want her to know either, and apparently neither did Great-Grandpa. Sayoma got a message just 3 minutes until home. She pulled out the peach and breezed downstairs. Behind the aunt, fingers twiddled, waiting for a reaction. The aunt sensed trouble just as the wife reached the garage. However, right as she stepped onto the stairs, she heard coughing. The aunt used the tissue to cover her nose, coughed, and tossed the tissue in the trash. Dad voluntarily stepped forward to inspect and secretly took out the prepared seasoning from his pocket. As a result, the aunt was dismissed overnight, yet the wife provided no reason whatsoever. The aunt took a wistful glance back at the place she had lived for 7 or 8 years, while the boss grumbled in the car about the lack of home care lately. Dad handed over a business card, stressing that it was a members-only club. The elegant, minimalist card momentarily left the boss flabbergasted. Just then, the car had swerved unexpectedly. Caught off guard, Dad let slip some colorful language, thinking he could hand the card over to himself, right? To diminish his presence, Dad kept reminding the boss not to mention it to the wife, but his constant glancing back let slip his basic professional ethics. Up ahead, the wife was struggling to handle housework, and a few days later, she finally made the call, cluelessly following Sayoma's suggestions. She prepped docs, brought Mom in, and the four infiltrated the mansion. The adults didn't pick up on it, but the kids caught a whiff of something odd. The driver smelled just like the maid. Their stench was identical. To avoid detection, they planned to wash the clothes separately, but Sayoma immediately caught on to everything. His smell wasn't from detergent, but rather a stench of poverty rising from their very bones. When the daughter dreaded going camping, her face painted with misery, but she couldn't win against her parents. The home tutoring plan was shelved. Once the car rolled out of the garage, our nesting scene unfolded while the couple napped peacefully on the sofa. Little son basked in the sun on the lawn. The girl watched TV in the tub, all enjoying themselves, as Sayoshu lay on her big bed. Bathed in the afterglow of dusk, the family watched Mum swinging a tether bowl. Life seemed perfect, like the happiest moment on earth. They were sipping drinks in the living room, no more generational gaps, as a soft rain misted beyond the large floor-to-ceiling windows. Outside it was peaceful and secure, and the family chatted and drank in front of the scenic view. Reading the girl's diary, finding her crush on Sayoshu, the parents fantasized about owning the house. Family was enjoying the chatter when thunder suddenly cracked above. A torrential downpour disrupted the mood, and an unexpected guest arrived. The aunt kept ringing the bell, clearly unwilling to leave. She said she left stuff in the basement. That look of pleading was truly chilling. As soon as the door was opened, the aunt walked into the luxurious mansion without any hesitation, heading straight for the entrance to the basement. Meanwhile, Mum remained upstairs, but the aunt had not emerged for a very long time. To reduce the risk of exposure, Mum followed her in, only to turn around and witness an outrageous scene. The aunt half leaned against the wall, pushing a cabinet. Seeing Mum descend, she asked for help. They both pushed with all their might, but couldn't budge the cabinet. It turned out something was stuck underneath, but the aunt didn't care about the pain. Subtitles: she rushed over to the cabinet in a hurry, opened a door located behind it, and her mum quickly followed her down. Below was like a maze. The dimly lit hallway raised their hearts into their throats. There lay a man unexpectedly. The aunt was solely occupied with him, while Mum's eyes were filled with shock. Seeing Mum's disbelief, she explained that this basement was left by the previous homeowners as a precaution against a surprise attack from the north. The husband was hiding due to a massive gambling debt and had been living here for 4 years. The three of them hid around the staircase corner, shocked by what was happening, while the aunt's plan was surprisingly thorough. Before entering, she had cut all the surveillance cameras. Mom looked around and got ready to call the police. Meanwhile, the aunt knelt down, hands and fingers pleading like a puppy, while the family eavesdropped. The aunt held up a red envelope, asking Mom to send food to her husband weekly, but this absurd demand enraged her. The aunt adjusted her glasses and immediately recognized Sayomai, then the driver. She quickly pulled out her phone and started recording, just as Sayoshuai yelled out. The family choked in surprise, thinking there was no signal in the basement, yet the reception was great here. They slowly backed away from the aunt. They finally reached the stairway. The colossal creature, having not breathed fresh air for ages, collapsed like a monster on the sofa. Meanwhile, the aunt pampered her joints while the family sat across from them, feeling like criminals awaiting judgment. The family's lives hung in their hands, but as they recalled the past, Mom brought her daughter in, dropping the phone. Everyone rushed in, causing chaos. Fights ensued, but no one could secure a victory. That woman seized a weapon and knocked Sayomai to the ground. Meanwhile, Sayomai dashed over to the fridge, grabbed a bag from inside. Hurry up. Come on, quickly take him away. I was wrong.